Hello, everybody,
Hello.
and welcome to our live stream Writing the Pilot Beta Q&A. Today, we are talking everything about writing the pilot beta, giving you a little bit of sneak peek about what it's going to be like, what the community is going to be like, how the beta is different than the actual course, and chatting with you, taking any of your questions. So, if at any point you have any questions you want to ask, drop them in the comments and we will get to those as soon as we can. And if not, I have a lot of your questions already saved and we will get to those.
Fantastic. We have a question right off the bat, which is please remind me when this class opens.
We will be trying to open it at the same time.
So Alexie, tell us, when does the class open?
So enrollment is open right now, and I will drop that link for you all. But enrollment is open right now, and it stays open until next Tuesday, August 8th at 11:59 p.m. And then the very next day is when you get the first lesson, well, the first module, which is a collection of lessons called Setting the Foundation. So it's all about brainstorming, how to think of ideas for TV, how to think of ideas that really thrive in this medium, in this like episodic structure. And then from there, we will be opening up about a new module of content every week.
Possibly
for 5 weeks. Yeah. There's going to be 5 modules of content, and we can go through loosely what those are. But that link that I just shared here is where you can access the beta. The beta is 40% off of the final sale price and is a special program.
And just to define what the beta is, this is our run of the course. This is the first time we're opening the course to people. And like we did with writing the feature, we had a small group of people who took a discounted version of the course and gave us feedback on the course, which we created the final version. So ideally, in the future, we would release either the whole course all at once for people, but this group, we're releasing it week by week so we can get your feedback and help build the best course we possibly can. And so this is not going to be the final course. This is going to be the first version of the course opened up to people, and you are all going to help us make it, the flow better, answer questions that maybe weren't answered in the initial version. But yeah, so the first week, like Alexie said, it's about setting up the foundation for storytelling. And so what's the second week, Alexie?
Before we go into this, I just want to point out also that a really big part of the beta that, was great for writing the feature is that we have a community of people that you're going to meet and become friends with and create really everlasting friendships with and important networking relationships with.
At least for the course, friendships. I don't know if they'll be everlasting, but 5 weeks.
We met Theo through the beta.
For me. Yeah. For me.
No, that's right. Hey, listen, it's only been a few years, not necessarily everlasting yet. We could all hate each other in a year,
Wow.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
But totally the community aspect is really important. And we want this group to give feedback for each other and help each other's projects.
Yeah, we have made the course the best that we believe it can be, but we're also realistic and we know that it can always be better. And also that that we are been in this headspace for a couple years now, working on this and trying to come up with the best way to present this information. And fresh eyes are going to really help us to understand, did we gloss over something that you want more information about? Was this too in detail? Just anything that you think, anything that you want more information about, we're happy to add to it. And I know for writing the feature, not only did we answer the questions live or in the Discord, wherever we answer your questions about the material, but we also went back and added a good number of videos. So we're really here to listen to what you have to say about what you'd like to see more of in the course. And yes, you will have access to the final version as well. Basically, what is going to happen is that right now, the course that you're in will become the final version of the course. So when you buy it today, it's the beta. It's our first version. And then as you go through it, as you get to week 2, we will probably be adding new videos into week 1 and let you know when all those are live, things like that. So if you give us notes, we'll be working on it and let you know, and you'll have access to the whole thing.
So one thing I want to just sort of define very clearly is the purpose of this course, writing a pilot, is to teach you how to write a pilot for a television series in either 30-minute or 1-hour format, in multiple genres. But like, we're just going to cover like fundamentally what an episode of television is, what a pilot of an episode of television, and how to sort of think of a series arc, all these kind of really big picture concepts that are specific to serialized storytelling. I think we do touch on procedural storytelling, but at the end of the day, like, you know, the vast majority of the benefit you will get from learning how to tell a serial story, you can do in any type of procedural. And just to define that, serial story is a story that a story continues episode to episode and grows and evolves, whereas procedural is like a sitcom where like every episode is its own beginning, middle, and end in kind of a pocket dimension of hell.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good questions here.
So to make sure that we just hit that, we are gonna basically, our format is focusing on TV writing, but we very intentionally say writing a pilot because this applies to anything episodic. We're going to talk about 5-act, which is what you typically will see for hour-long TV. And we're also going to talk about 3-act, which is a version you often see for half-hour-long TV. But we will also be talking about how you can apply this idea, this pattern that we're going to show you, to webisodes, so something that's even like 5 minutes long, or how you can build on this to plan out multiple seasons of a show. So we'll show you how you can scale this up or down, this pattern that we're going to be showing for episodic content. And it'll be all genres.
Just to answer this question, I think we covered it very quickly, but we're not going to have any emphasis on a particular genre. We're focusing on half-hour and 1-hour formats. Specifically, you can make it's whatever genre you want. These are just storytelling principles that will apply for the medium. Yep.
So, and then you can apply it up or down to longer or shorter if you want.
Just to answer this question, is it a live Zoom class or on demand? It is pre-filmed, pre-edited videos with a live community aspect, leveraging Discord. So feedback and community will be on Discord, and the actual videos will be, and course materials will be on Teachable, which is a website. So it's very much similar, exactly the same as all of our other courses with John Warren, writing the short, writing the scene, writing the feature. If you've taken one of those courses, this is very much like that.
Let me actually give you all, let me share a link to writing the short. If you all haven't taken this yet, it shows kind of how we approach courses. It shows you a course, the first course that we ever made with John. This one is a lot shorter. It's a free one that you can check out, and you can see like our Teachable site that we use and the way that it's set up. That's the presentation that you're going to see in Writing the Pilot. Writing the Pilot is more in depth. It's a more intermediate level course, which is this one is beginner. But it'll be the same thing. It'll be videos online, and then you can come in and chat with us once a week. We're going to be doing live streams, much like this, at this time, every Tuesday, as you go through the course. And that's going to be your opportunity to do things like submit what you're working on during the beta. So you can share with us like your idea, your tent poles or outlines as you write them, and we'll go over them live. We'll answer any questions you have about the course. Let me grab Writing the Scene for you. We'll answer any questions you have. That'll be an opportunity where if you want to give us your feedback live, you can give it to us live. And then the whole time, you also have access to our Discord community. So if you can't come live, you can check out the recordings. And you can always participate on the Discord. So there's that. Does that make sense? Theo, are we making sense?
Yeah, this is making sense. And I think, like the Discord is you can join that now and be part of our community at any time. We have a really great, wholesome community that just wants to help everybody with their writing.
And if you go ahead and you sign up for Writing the Pilot right now, what you see when you sign up is you'll get taken to what is basically a pre-module in the course. So you'll see welcome, and it'll show you how to get started in Discord. And if you go through the link that's in the course, you'll automatically get set up with everything you need. If you're already in the Discord, just say hi and chat, and we can make sure that you're completely set up.
And when the first week is announced, you will have access, and an email will be sent out.
Yep.
So,
there's a version of this where you don't ever use Discord. We recommend that you engage with the community because it's a really good networking opportunity. But if you're someone who's like, I would rather just take this by myself, that is totally fine. You'll get email announcements about when new modules are live. You can use email to reply and give me your notes if you want to give us your feedback. You're not obligated to give feedback, although we'd love to hear from you. That's why we're hoping to do the beta. And I think that, and then, yeah, you can come to the live streams, whether you're on Discord or not. Those are going to be here on YouTube. They'll be unlisted videos. So not anybody can show up like this one. They'll be unlisted and you'll get the emailed link.
Define that is as we go through the 5 modules, we will be hosting live streams like this every Tuesday at this time to sort of help answer questions and engage with feedback from the community.
So let's go to this question. Preston
do you
says,
think the course will be most helpful for starting fresh with a new idea, or could it be used for an idea that we've been writing and developing? Alexie, what do you think?
So we've designed this course so you can do it either way. The thing that I would say is if you come in with an idea that you're developing, I would really, really encourage you to do your best to be flexible. This is something we talked about with writing the feature as well. It can be really easy to come in with an idea or, God forbid, an adaptation and to say, I'm locked into these ideas and I'm not going to change it for anything. And I just want to see how I put this idea that I already know is great into a TV show. That's going to really limit you. If you come in and you're like, I know that I want to do something about, an elementary school in Philadelphia that's a public school where it's a sitcom comedy and the teachers are kind of being teachers, and you come in with that loose idea and then you're adaptable and you're able to be flexible with your thinking as you go, then that's great. Definitely come with that. Do your best, though, not to be like, I know who this is about and I'm not going to change it for anything.
The idea is that you're going to learn with the course and gain some new knowledge that you will see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Will we get feedback on tasks like we got on the other courses? So for this course, we are the 2 things. One, we are going to try and leverage Discord more aggressively and actively for feedback. That Alexie and I will always be in, and if you ask a question and you tag us, I will answer probably, whenever I can. And it'll probably be faster and better than like just dumping it in the feedback email like we were doing before. And we will have a private area of the Discord where if you've done one of the paid courses, writing the pilot or writing the feature, you'll have permanent access to. So you can always ask writing questions specific to your story, or and also asking the whole community there. So it's not publicly available in the Discord; it's just the other students. That being said, if you feel uncomfortable sharing your ideas or scripts or whatever in the private Discord, you can now very officially book an hour consult, myself and Alexie, where we will read your script and give you an hour via direct Zoom notes on your script or outline or whatever you want to do. It's an hour and we'll read whatever you send us. So we are actually bundling that with the course. So if you bought one of the bundles, you will get that out. So one way to work it is like you get the bundle of this consult and writing the pilot. You'll get us to that gets us to read your script or whatever you want to output it by the end of it, or on the way, and we will read it and give you notes for a full hour, just both of us, so both of our points of view, which I think is a really good deal to get coverage.
We have different points of view, so you get we read your
two readers
who
are part of the course and reading your stuff.
And I will say that we underpriced this by a lot and then said, you know what, we'll leave it for the beta. So just so you know, this bundle, I just now posted a link to that. So if you want to do that, go ahead. There's a limited number of spots just because we're going to need to schedule everybody. So if you are interested in that, check it out. If you already bought the course and you want to add the bundle, you can email me and we can try to figure out if we still have spots and if we can make that work. let's see. Oops, me and Adam keep trying to pull up the question at the same time. I'm closing the other one out. Amanda says, will you include anything about writing for animation? Like the differences between writing for live action, half-hour shows versus animation? So we're going to try to touch on everything like that. That's something that I will say we don't have a whole module that's going in depth into animation specifics. We're much more focused on the story aspect of like how you're going to control an episodic story and focusing on the relationships and stuff that's applicable across genres. We will touch on things like that. And if in the beta you find a spot where you're like, you know what, when you were talking about this, it made me think, I want to know how to do this particular thing in animation, you can always ask and we can look and see if we think that would be.
There is stuff to cover on that subject for sure,
Yeah.
that we can make sure we sort of have some answers to that are useful. But
yes. Yeah. Let's see. And I guess, so Theo is here. Theo was here with us for writing the feature. And I guess, Theo, I was hoping that you might be able to speak to, you know, if someone's considering writing the pilot, what would you have them weigh as they decide if they should if they should do the beta or they should wait for the full course?
I would do the beta 100%. Choosing to do the beta for writing the feature was a no-brainer for me. I think around the time I'd gotten involved with the community, it was just a few weeks off. But being part of that community was really critical to my learning. Adam and Alexie know, but I come from the world of publishing, the world of novels. So when I decided during the pandemic I was going to learn screenwriting, Young Screenwriters was the easy place for me, because as part of being the weekly Friday live stream, I realized these are my people. These people know story. These people know structure. Like, this is where you're going to learn the nitty gritty of screenwriting. So being part of writing the feature beta for me was, I got a community of people who, like I said, I've still friends, and also people that I can network with, who I can see their successes and they can see mine, and we can help each other out. Getting to be part of the course experience itself was really valuable, because I could give my feedback on like, oh, hey, you know, maybe I would love to learn a little bit more about this or how this works. You know, I had a lot of questions about initially about 5-act structure, for example, and how that worked, because I was familiar with different types of storytelling than what was really highlighted in writing the feature. So it was really valuable experience for me. And I very quickly found myself learning exactly what I needed to know. And I completed 4 features after that course within pretty quick succession.
Nice. Yeah, that was cool. I think that, you know, it was an experience that was really, really exciting from our end too, to see people really engaging with the material and asking questions and giving us opportunities to make stuff better. I know that we would get some notes and be like, that is such a smart idea or a smart insight about this. Like, let's figure out how we can make this flow better for like in the future or for people here. And it really created a tight-knit community of everyone trying to make this the best it could be for future writers.
Because it's for the writers, right? And I think that's the important part of an experience like this, is it's designed, you know, not to be, you know, here, take our course. It's designed to be, here's an experience where you're going to learn exactly what you need to write. You're going to get support along the way, or even if it's just cheerleading, like we have events where we just kind of help each other out, because writing is really hard and writing is really solitary in nature, and it doesn't have to be. So just having that to kind of cling on and move forward is super, super valuable. It was very valuable for me.
And then I guess another question for you, Theo, would be, having gone through the beta of writing the feature, if someone's thinking about doing the writing the pilot beta, what kind of advice would you have about them coming in? Like attitude or, I mean, just headspace, any kind of advice that you'd have about somebody who is like, you know what, I am maybe nervous about this, or this is something new to me, or any kind of advice.
Yeah, I think really coming in with an open mind and being ready to learn, having a notebook. Basically what I did is I had a binder where I wrote down everything. I wrote down notes. I came in with an idea that was kind of half formed. Actually, it was an adaptation of something I'd already written, and very quickly learned that I needed to strip it down to its bones and rework it. But that was valuable. So I think it's really like this course is going to take you exactly where you need to go. You're going to learn every aspect that you need to know about writing, about story, and especially about episodic, that I don't think really exists in a lot of other places. And for me, sorry, totally lost my train of thought on where I was going there.
No.
Like I think when you're coming into something like this, if you don't have, the base knowledge, or you're not understanding something, like we have resources built in to help with that. So for example, if you're going through writing the pilot and thinking, I'm not feeling super confident in this, it's a question you can ask in the community, or you can take another course. So you can take writing the scene or writing the short, which are both free courses that really deal with those fundamentals on a really like base level. So there are options coming in. So I would say no one should be nervous coming into this experience that you're not going to understand, because the opportunity to learn on a fundamental level is there in multiple places and areas, and however your learning style is.
I think that, yeah, absolutely speaking to that. I know that we've had people come in to take writing the feature who have studied it extensively. And I know we had people coming in to take writing the feature where they had never touched a screenplay in their life. And especially through the beta, it was a space where people could ask questions to understand, to get the base knowledge. It gave us opportunities to be like, okay, we need to include this simpler explanation of what's going on, or we need to give people resources in this particular way. I would say that writing the pilot is similar. You can come in having some experience in this area and still get something from it. If you're new, we still do our best to get you up to speed quickly. I would say that most of the material is accessible, but it definitely does get to some intermediate level, sometimes some higher level concepts. We try to make the whole thing accessible. I guess, Adam, would you say it's an intermediate level course, or where would you put it?
Intermediate level course, probably not the first thing you've ever written, but it could be. I actually encourage people to reach outside of. I think people should jump into the deep end. People should challenge themselves, do the hard thing. You've never written anything before, come and join it. But this is going to be material that's written for and directed to people who have written things before and are ready to learn and get their hands dirty.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. And I know that we have gotten the question related to the level of this is, what age group is this for? Which is a question we get a lot with young screenwriters. And really, our writers go from anywhere from about 12 to 13 to 80 something. We have everyone all over. We have students in basically every single country at this point. You can really come from any background. Honestly, I would say that it's shaken out that our average student is somewhere in their 30s. But every day we have people coming to events who are younger than that, older than that, exactly in there. People are really all over. Let's see. This might be a good time to bring up our reference pilots.
Well, or let's do it. We haven't done an overview of the course.
Oh, okay, cool. So something that I wanted to go over with you all very quickly is just a quick overview of the different units of the course. So before we talked about that there are 5 modules. And this is something that you might have seen in the emails. You might see on the sales page, but I'm just going to go over it real quickly. We have everything broken down, just like when writing the feature and all of our other courses, into projects. Our goal here is to be extremely clear about step-by-step mini goals so that you can finish the pilot without ever just being shoved off on your own into the far end of the pool. I know that a lot of times when I was reading books or taking other courses, it would feel like you just get a ton of information, and at the end they're kind of like, now go forth and write your pilot, or go forth and write your whole script by yourself. And so the goal with this is to really break everything down into smaller projects to make the whole process more approachable. So for the first unit, Unit 1, that's the one that opens next Wednesday. It's called Setting the Foundation. And throughout that unit, we're going to be talking about just kind of the basis of TV, what makes episodic stories great, what kind of stories really thrive there. And the point of this unit is building out a wish list. And Theo, you actually introduced me to the idea of a wish list. If you want to say a little bit about that.
What I love about the wish list is, and it's something, I don't know, I guess I've always done it. I'm big on spreadsheets and outlining, and always have been in my whole writing career. But what I love to do when I'm working on an idea is keep a list of all like the exciting things that I want to be in it. And that includes, you know, references to other things. Like if I'm watching a classic film, you know, this has happened to me recently. I watched classic film and I thought I need an element of that here in this screenplay. So it's just it's a free form list of all of the exciting, most amazing things you want in this screenplay or in this story. And I think it's really useful because, one, you can keep track of all of the great things that you want and you don't lose anything. But then two, it's also just like keeps the excitement alive. So if you're ever, you know, struggling and thinking, I don't know where to go with this, you can look at your wish list and say, oh yes, this is exactly why I'm writing this story.
Absolutely. So that's the goal of the first unit. The first unit is really just about, okay, let's not stress right now. Let's just make a wish list, absorb information, and read some reference scripts that we think are really, really great scripts that we're going to be looking at throughout the course. So that is the project for Unit 1. And then Unit 2 is when we start getting into the broad strokes of your series. This Unit 2 is called Developing Your Series. And the project here is to create a series tentpole. Tentpole is what we call our outlines, because it's like these are the most important tentpole beats that are going to be holding up the structure of your story. It's not every single thing that happens ever. It's what is the most important cornerstone elements of story that you must have for the story to work. So we're going to be doing a series tentpole there. So basically gathering your ingredients for the story. Who's this about? Where is it? What's the overall plot? What do people want? The relationships that you're going to explore, your theme, things like that is what we're going to be locking down in Unit 2. Then moving on to Unit 3, we're doing your pilot tentpole. So you've given us all the ingredients of your series tentpole, and now you're writing the recipe. This is where you're going to be learning really in depth about pilot structure, about looking at how exactly does 5-act function, how exactly does 3-act function, how are they the same? What's that pattern that's happening in both of them? How can you apply that pattern to 5-minute episodes or a series that is like 3 seasons long? It's about learning that pattern and figuring out the different beats that happen in an episode and plotting out your whole first script. The next one, Unit 4, this is where we actually write your pilot. So this is going to be about best practices in screenwriting and writing for TV, answering questions like, do you put what act it is? That's a question we get a lot because pilot scripts are written a little bit differently than feature scripts. So looking at how you actually write a pilot. We're going to be looking at B plots, dialogue, opening pages, including a teaser, transitions between scenes, everything like that. And then finally, in Unit 5, we're creating your series Bible and beyond. So if you're unfamiliar, a series Bible, actually, Adam, do you want to say what a series Bible is real quick? And kind of how it's different
Series
than a pitch
Bible
deck?
/ pitch. So series Bible or a pitch deck. So series Bible is kind of a sort of document that a writer or the creator of a show creates to communicate what the idea is to their team, right? To co-collaborators and to possibly sell the show, or a different version of it called the pitch deck, whatever these terms change and the application of the terms change. But the idea is that you create this document that if you read it, somebody knows what the show is. They understand who it's about, what's happening, what it feels like, where it goes, what all of the ideas that you would need to know as a possible producer or broadcaster or whatever to say like, oh, I like this. I know what this is. I want to be a part of this. And also for the co-writers in the writer's room, like you would use this to sort of communicate what your vision is for the show. And it can have artwork ideas. It can have there are a lot of ways it could look and feel, but the idea is that it communicates what your show is about.
Exactly. So the series Bible, the one that we're going to be working on, a series Bible, which is kind of in depth. What is this? You're going to have like character bios. You might talk about the theme. You might talk about the setting. It's kind of like your guide to the world that you've created. And then now, though, it used to be that this was like the thing that you wanted when you went out to pitch. Now things have been shifting a bit more, that people want pitch decks, which is sort of like a series Bible, but very much the highlights, very catchy looking, very flashy. So we're going to talk about how to do
it's the
both.
sales document version.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about how to do both, and then we're also going to get a little bit into pitching. So I guess, Adam, a question for you is this course for a writer who wants to get into like a Hollywood writer's room? Is this for someone who wants to make it on their own? Who is this course for?
Yes, this is for somebody who wants to know the tools of how these things are made. This is for someone to build a skill set. This is for someone who wants to know how to write a TV pilot with an engaging story. It's in the model of Western Hollywood, right? So it's not going to give you some like secret keys to like be like, this is secret industry knowledge. No, this is just like how it works and what it is. And you can use these tools however you want. It's to empower you, right? So what if you want nothing to do with that, but you just want to make a web series on your own, totally indie, you can use those same tools to do this. It's about storytelling. It's about medium. It's about writing engaging material with great characters that move people.
For sure. Yeah, I think it's because we're Hollywood writers, what we are teaching people to write comes from a perspective of Hollywood writing, like what's on streaming right now, what's on TV right now. It has that perspective, but it's definitely not limited to that. We're not teaching you just how to get a job at a writer's room. Our goal is really focused on the story that you're creating, and then you can use that to do whatever you want to do. I believe at this course, we especially are encouraging people to write things that they want to make themselves, maybe. We know that that's something that we want to focus on in writing the pilot is, this is a great way to approach it if you want to make something yourself. If you want to do 10
giving people tools. We're just giving you tools. That's all. You can do whatever you want with those tools, but this is just the knowledge. Your job to apply it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I did want to touch on, if you check the description of this video, you should be able to see it there. But throughout the course, we have 3 pilot scripts that we use because we think that they're fantastic. And we chose them a bit ago, and I'm still pleased that we chose them because people are still loving them. So I was very happy with that. But I will share the links with you. These are available in our script vault, which is free for everyone, whether you take a course or not. You can access hundreds of scripts for TV and features. But our reference scripts, which we recommend reading and watching if you want to, is Succession. So we talk a lot about the Succession pilot. That's an hour-long drama. We talk a lot about Abbott Elementary. So that's sort of our half-hour sitcom. And then the other one that we reference quite a bit is The Bear. So these are the 3 shows that we really come back to. That's not the only things we talk about, but we wanted to choose 3 as an anchor point where if you don't have to watch everything that's come out lately, if you just read these pilot scripts, check out these 3 pilots, which are available on streaming platforms, you'll be good to go throughout the entire course. You'll know what we're talking about. Here's a good question. Do you want to tackle that one, Adam?
Sure. So how does the community of screenwriters work exactly? Do you connect via video chat? Because I would like if you can clarify this. So we're using a app called Discord that is typically, it's a kind of like a chat room / forum of the olden days. Kind of, it's via text. There are little workshops that are via audio. So it's like there are all these like different like conversation threads in our Discord server, right, on different subjects like off topic, share it, show and tell, writing questions, whatever, right? In each of these different threads, you can have a conversation. You can share opinions, thoughts with other people who are in the community. That we've got like 1,200 people who have historically signed up for this Discord server. So it's a lot of writers, a lot of different opinions, and the private aspect of it will be dedicated towards writing the pilot. So just you and the fellow students who've taken this course. So there's the public portion of the Discord, then there'll be the private portion that you'll gain access to upon purchasing. And in that area, you can share via text, any questions, thoughts, concerns, ideas with other people in the community. And Alexie and myself will be engaged there. And I check it every single day. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So if you check into our Discord, if you've tried to join our Discord in the past and found it confusing or anything, like if you tried a couple years ago, I really encourage you to take a look now. We've done a lot of work to make it as simple as possible for people who are not used to Discord. So now if you sign in, you'll answer a couple questions about stuff you're interested in right at the very beginning, and you'll get a very short list of channels that cover very basic topics. These are all things that are open to the public where you can post your writing, you can ask questions, you can get feedback, you can participate in writing sprints that Theo runs, which you can talk about more in a sec. And all of that's public. Then if you join the course, you'll get a special permission to a private little chat that's all about the course. So that is the idea there. Theo, do you want to talk a little bit about the activities that we do in the Discord?
Yeah, so the writing sprints, which is something I really love to do, is a place to kind of handle goals and accountability and cheer each other on. So a lot of what we'll do is if somebody's writing, we'll say, okay, I'm going to be writing for the next hour and a half. I want to write 5 pages. Here we go. And then if anyone else is online and writing at the same time, everyone can write together, can cheer each other on together. You can share your struggles or your successes. And a lot of what that's there for is just so we can help each other out and support each other. And sometimes you might have a struggle that someone might have an answer for, or, you could have a story problem that you're stuck in. And the community is there to help you and really feed you along. Another thing that we do every Thursday is we have an open workshop where anybody in the Discord can bring up to 5 pages of their work, and we do a table read, and we discuss, the highs and opportunities and what's great about it, or what, there's an opportunity to make more exciting or add more stakes or add more tension, or if, something like formatting is an issue or that you're worried about or want to learn more about, that's a great opportunity to have, us go through and say, okay, this is how you would want to format this, or here's an option of how you might want this to look like. So that's a really great opportunity. And then we're going to have Tuesdays, which is going to be entirely dedicated to this kind of special group, which will be a live stream just like this, where we can have questions and have conversations and all of those things. And the Discord's open 24/7, and you can really start a conversation whenever you'd like, or join a conversation whenever you'd like.
Let me share this real quick. I can set it up so it looks like I'm a new user. So if you click on that link right now, this is what you'll see. It'd say like, hey, what are you hoping to get out of this community? There's a few different things. I say all of them because I want it all. Get feedback on my script, network with other writers, ask questions about screenwriting, join a writer's workshop. Next, they tell you the rules, which is basically don't be mean, and don't be mean. Don't just like throw your private message or script away to people. We want to make sure that you're safe with your script. Just basic stuff like that. Finish, and then you get in here. This is just some basic stuff that will give you advice on how to get started. You can go say hi and what you like to write in our welcome. If you click this, it would take you right there to our welcome chat. Share something you've worked on. You can show us a project if you want. Show if you have like a YouTube link or something, anything that you want people to check out. I mean, even your social media, show and tell, that's where all that goes. Writing, if you want to get some support, writing sprints. People a lot of times will just post in there. That's what Theo was talking about. People will just drop by and be like, hey, I'm going to write for the next hour. And you'll get people kind of cheering you on or being like, you know what, I'm going to do it too. And just chatting together. and ask any screenwriting questions and writing questions. So that is right here. That's a place where literally you can just be like, how do I format this? Or what do you think about this? We get a lot of questions there all the time, even, you know, mental health stuff about being a writer. Like, how do you deal with this particular aspect of being a writer? Let's see. Off to the side, you can see our resources. If you click on this, it pops up. You can get all of our links. And you can access this guide anytime. At the very top, it says server guide. But otherwise, this is what it looks like. It's just a chat. See? So this was the conversation that was happening earlier today. We were talking about the writer's strike, answering some people's writing questions, everything like that. So we hope that you will come by. Basically, if you join Writing the Pilot, so yeah, this is Writer's Hub, you'll get a second section down here called Writer's Room, and you'll have a couple private channels that the public can't see, where you can give your feedback to us, share what you're working on with a little bit more privacy, everything like that. So we hope that you will check that out. Let's see.
Cool.
I think that is all the questions I was asked. So I guess to reiterate, no, you do not have to be on Discord if you want to take this course. We hope that you will check it out. It's totally optional, but we hope that you will check it out. We've done a lot of work at streamlining it and making it as easy to use as possible, even if you've never used Discord before. I know I hadn't before Young Screenwriters, and I've grown to love it. It's just a really easy place to communicate. But yeah, you'll have opportunities to do live streams with us every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. And then we have free stuff happening all the time. So Thursdays, 5:30 in the Discord, table read your stuff. We do live streams here every Friday at 5:30, just for hanging out, having fun, talking about screenwriting topics. Lots of stuff. Cool. If you think of any questions that you like, you know, think of as soon as we're done, you can feel free to email me. I shared my email up here, or pop into the Discord and just ask the question there and we will find you. All three of us are there. All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
We hope to see you in the beta. Yeah, sorry, Theo, I talked right over you. I think you were saying the same thing.
Oh, wait, we have one question coming in.
Oh, yep.
Oh, great question.
Great opportunity. Where do we write our scripts? In a software or in our own documents? So you can write your script wherever you feel comfortable writing your script. We have a partnership with a screenwriting software called Arc Studio Pro, and we can get you a discount for that. It's a subscription server in the cloud, so it's great also because it has fantastic outlining tools, and it's very easy to collaborate with other writers. But if you are not a fan of that, industry standard is Final Draft, although it's a little overpriced.
Yep.
I would recommend, what's the other one?
Writer Duet.
Writer Duet's pretty good.
Right, yeah, it's Writer Duet, but it's the one that's $87.
Oh, Fade-In.
Fade-In is also a non-subscription option that's very good. And they all do the same thing. What matters is that you get comfortable. We recommend Arc Studio because we have a code for that.
And
that's what I use. And I will never go to another screenwriting software outside of Arc Studio.
There we go. It's right there.
So this is Arc Studio, and to give you a quick little spiel on it, it has some of the best outlining tools that I've literally ever seen in a screenwriting software. This was something that we found forever ago, and we loved them right when they were getting started. And I wrote some articles for them, and we just connected with them really early on and loved it. And then now they're kind of blowing up a bit, and we still have a really good relationship with them to get you all a discount. But
what is the code again? Is it Young Screenwriters, all caps?
I believe so. Yeah. If you click the link, if you see this banner at the very top of, see that right there? If you click the link, that should automatically be there, and you'll get a $30 off of your subscription. You can also try it for free, which I would recommend doing. Why not?
You can get, so the free version is, I think you can have up to 3 screenplays for free. So you can get a lot of mileage out of this for free. And then if you want to have more and use more features, that's when you can kind of invest in the actual subscription.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think it's better than Final Draft personally, but they all do the same thing. They're all accomplish the goal. So whatever you're comfortable with. They
try to do one update a month, and they're really, really responsive. So if you're like, wait, why can't I do this here? But I've heard that you could do it in Final Draft. They'll be like, oh, okay, and then they'll
do it.
They'll do it. So I really, really love them. Cannot recommend it more. And just so you know, even whatever you put your scripts in, it's going to look the same pretty much at the end of the day. It's going to look basically identical. So when we say like industry standard, they don't, it's not like that you're going to send them your Final Draft file.
It just means a lot of people use it. That's all that means. Yeah.
A lot of people use it. But you're going to send a PDF when you send out your script. No one's going to know what you used. It's all about using the tool that you like best.
That's right.
And in ARC, you can export to Final Draft. So you can, if you find yourself, for example, working on a set and you need to use it and you have ARC, like you can export to Final Draft. So there's literally no barrier to the industry.
And ARC has some of the best support on mobile that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
not to hype it up too much, but it is very nice. Like when you're on the subway and you're like, oh man, I have an idea, and you just can type it right in. It's very handy. Last question. When does it start? So we are enrolling right now. Enrollment closes exactly a week and a few hours from now. It closes next Tuesday, August 8th at 11:59. And then the next day, Wednesday, August 9th, we're opening up the first module of the course, Setting the Foundation, which is all about making that wish list and getting an understanding of narrative structure. If you join now, you can pop into the Discord and start meeting everyone. I mean, you can come into the Discord anyway, but yeah, just come by and hang out with us. And yeah, we hope to see you there or see you on Thursdays in our free workshops. Yes, you don't need any experience.
Yes.
And if you think of any more questions, ask in the Discord or email me, and we will always be here.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.